got to stand up strong. Face the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up, and throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. 3 days away. In 3 days, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, it will be Christmas. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. The biblical question. Why are we supposed to care what people say or think? Why are we supposed to? The key word in there is supposed to. Why are we supposed to care what people say or think? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about anywhere in the world, and we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And if you're black, everybody and their mama. If you're white, everybody and their mother. Amazing. And doing what you're doing, whatever you're doing, but you're too busy to sit and watch it, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And follow us on social media. JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, and all that good stuff. Amazing. And then to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or rebuildingtheman.com, or Bond JLP Cash App, Bond JLP Cash App. So it is Friday. It is Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
24 hours I have it's innocent. Could you help me?
I'm just a reporter.
'Tis the season of giving.
Bring me some McDonald's.
No doubt about it. Our border is secure.
From the mountains to the sea? Which mountains?
Christmas Smackdown. Here it is.
Where's your Christmas spirit?
Today we're going to be talking about why people should say happy holidays.
Christmas is Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas.
It's amazing to me that people are so dumb that someone that hate Christmas and hate Christianity can tell you not to say Christmas, say happy holidays. And then you go around, you start saying happy holidays. You don't realize you've been brainwashed to follow the crowd that hate Christ and hate Christmas and hate America, and you go around saying happy holidays when all your life you said Merry Christmas. Think about that. They change the wording, and you just go right along with the wording. And you don't say Merry Christmas, you say happy holiday. I had a caller yesterday, I think he was a black guy. I think he was black. That called and said, Jesse, what is Christmas all about? Or what does Christmas, something like that. And I said, Christ is the reason for the season. No, what is Christmas all about? Christ is the reason for the season. And that's what Christmas is about. Christians that believes in God, that believes in the country, that support the country and the amazing tradition of the country. It ain't about anything else but that. And then some people say, oh, I don't celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving, but Halloween or something like that. It's secular. when in their hearts they have nothing but hatred. And you can't get any more secular than that. It's crazy. It just, I understand it though. I totally understand it. And it's mad. It's insane. Angry, anyone that has anger is insane. They are insane. They are insane. But I understand it because that's the world. And angry people of the world, I don't care if they claim to be of a church or whatever. If you have anger, you're still of the world. You may be sitting in a church, but if you have anger, you're still of the world. Satan is your God. Anger is evil. The intellect is evil. The intellect is an enemy of God. And most people are intellectual. They're into the intellect. Another thing I was reflecting on, and I hear it a lot now, that white people are afraid. Everyone knows now that whites in America are afraid. And then people of color, even those who are not black, have joined forces with the blacks to attack white people. And it's real insane because what's happening in America has already happened in South Africa and in Europe and other places around the world. The white people are afraid to speak up. They're afraid to say no. And as a result of being afraid to say no, they're losing their country. I heard some report, and I don't have it exactly right, so because I just happened to catch it on the news or something, that some football player or ex-football player said that white people should not do commentary on, I guess, football or basketball, but I think it was football, because mostly black people play those games. And I thought, you know what, you may be up to something, you may be on to something. And I thought, what white people should do, those games where it's mostly played by the blacks, don't show up. Don't go to any of those games at all and see how long they last. Because if white people stop going to these games where they are played predominantly by blacks, they wouldn't last. And if the blacks are so mad at you that they can say things like that, just stop going. Okay, y'all can have that. We're going to go and build a white team and see which one lasts and which one does well and which one you're going to enjoy the most, and you'll see. I'm being told, well, who you get that from, Nick? No. Okay, so according to Newsweek, Rashad Mendenhall, whoever that is, a former NFL player, asserted white people aren't good at football, and so they should stop commenting on it. I'm like, oh, okay. We'll stop commenting on it. We'll stop going to your games. We'll let you have football, see how long that lasts. And watch how the football field turned into a hood. Dried, dead grass that need watering. And a dirty stadium. So how can this guy say that about the whites? And the whites, oh, okay. Nobody say, oh, this guy's wrong. How can he say that? Nobody comment on it. It's crazy in the white man land. This is not going to turn out well. If you doubt me, go to South Africa, other countries where the white people created, and see what has happened to those countries. The same thing is happening here. We're on the same track. It's not going to get better. And the best player is a white guy by the name of Tom Brady. It ain't even a black person.
What the?
What is going on? It's evil. I was looking at a report on that black woman that's the president of Harvard, I believe, the one that wouldn't say the right thing about what's happening with the war and all that. And this woman, because she's black and she has an afro and she's an affirmative action baby, she's not in there because she qualifies. She's in there because she's a black female. And now she is destroying Harvard because the people are afraid to get rid of her. The whites are afraid. If she was a white woman, she'd be gone. But because she's black, and they allowed the black to destroy, which was, quote unquote, a prestigious university at one time. Now, do you believe me? Is when you let the blacks in, they destroy it. Do you believe me now? Look what happened to the country when you allow Obama, the father Messiah Obama, and Big Mama Michelle into the White House. The country has been downhill ever since. Obama's plan is still in operation. All these illegals coming over, no police. What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now. Pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon. Under Obama. And the white people are quiet. And they're quiet in their own country. I never seen so many white people with fear before. Merry Christmas. It's amazing, but that's evil. You can overcome fear. You don't have to live with fear. And every human being that has anger has fear. You can just say no. You may ask, why are white people so afraid? I can hear you asking that now. Why are white people so afraid? Well, I want to give you some examples of why white people are afraid. Watch this from CNN and the New York Times.
How many of you are afraid to talk openly about race? Nobody.
I'll say yes.
Mark your mic. What?
I'll say yes, and here's why. Because I'm white, and I'm going to screw it up somehow.
It's very uncomfortable to talk about race. It's not something I do.
I don't want to say anything, that would offend anyone.
It's a very touchy subject. It's still difficult, even if you feel like you're on the right side of it, to have a dialogue about it.
Especially for white people, because we don't want to see if the racism that we may be holding on to.
Now I understand that it's a system of advantages and disadvantages based on race. So as much as there's the disadvantage piece of it, there's the advantage piece of it, which is what I experience as a white person.
I know that I'm white, and I guess I'm part of that collection.
I really did not know that I had a racial identity. I knew I was white. I had no idea what that meant, how that had shaped my outlook on life.
I don't want to be ashamed of being, and plus I'm a male. It's like every group out there can be pissed off at me because I'm white and a male.
I think we're all implicated in a racist system, and I play my part in it as a white person.
I think that impulse, that kind of colorblindness impulse, comes mostly from white people. Like I've never heard, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure it comes from people of all kinds, but I've heard it most from white people who are saying like, let's do this as a way of getting past this racism thing. And I think in part it comes from a sense of shame and guilt about what racism has done and kind of how racism was built by white people.
That is so sad, it makes you want to cry. How can you be brainwashed like that? It's like telling black people that racism exists, and they believe it. And I don't know if they really believe it, but it gets them free stuff, so they act like they believe it. White people, that is pitiful. You're a pitiful person if you think that way. That is like, maybe those was robots. You know how they making robots now to look like people, and you can't tell that they're robots? Maybe those were not real people. Maybe those were robots. How can you say something that dumb or believe something that dumb and not true? And then you sit back because you believe that and let the people of color destroy your country. And believe you me, that the blacks know that the whites are afraid. You're feeding your enemy your fear. You're telling them that you're afraid. Believe you me, that the blacks know that the whites are afraid. They know it. They know it. That's not good. How can this thing get better when you're speaking like that? White people, this is not the way you used to be. In the good old days when boys were boys and men were men, white people were not afraid of the blacks. And the blacks were not afraid of the whites. It was about treating others the way you would like to be treated. The color wasn't even thought about. Believe me, white people, black people know white people are afraid. If you doubt me, watch this from Fox Soul.
Justin, you said that white men need to learn that they shouldn't fear black men.
Right. Speaking from my perspective, I feel that a lot of the, we'll talk about police brutality. Mm-hmm. I feel a lot of white men are scared of black men because of their lack of exposure to black men or people of color.
That's dumb.
That white men are just scared or intimidated by black men for no other reason than that the color of their skin.
That's a lie.
It's really the ignorance and the lack of exposure to those people.
Yeah, I find that interesting that the only thing that seems to scare white people are black men, literally. They swim with the sharks. They hunt. They go in the mountains and hike with the bears.
How do you?
They go to safaris and
like
hang
that?
out with the tigers and the lions, and that's unfortunate because our history as black people does not reflect in any way factually that we are a violent people. And I believe Minister Farrakhan said that the best when he said, "We don't have a history of killing you. You have a history of killing us." So it's not white people who should fear blacks, it's black people who should fear whites. And trust me, we do.
First of all, that's a lie. Black people do not fear white people. Secondly, black people are the most violent people on earth. Thirdly, where is the history of white people killing blacks? And that, I guess, is that a white man with the black woman?
It appears to be.
He was not white. He said not white to him. But it did look like a white man. He was white enough to be hated, they say. Don't you see how violent the blacks are becoming as a result of the whites thinking this way? Who are breaking in businesses and stores? I know there are some others now, illegal aliens and others forming these groups and going around breaking into white businesses. But who've been leading the way as far as so-called smash and grab? Who was leading the way in knocking out white people and laughing and calling it knockout game? This is evil, folks. This is no game. This is evil. And if you love the white people, you would tell the black people, you would tell them the truth. Hey, I'm not your problem. Your mama is your problem and your daddy. How is this going to help? And those black people sitting there acting as though they're having a real conversation. And Louis Farrakhan is the last person you want to listen to. He's the guy that said that he went into out spaceship and talked to a dead man, Elijah Muhammad, in a spaceship. Elijah was dead. But Louis Farrakhan went out there and had a conversation with him. Louis Farrakhan is the man that said that black people were the first people on earth or something like that. And they went into a laboratory later at some point, I guess, and they created the white man, and that's how he came over the blue-eyed devil. Louis Farrakhan is the man that called Jews blood-sucking Jews. And this woman quoted Louis Farrakhan about history. And as soon as you blame, you hate. And black people are blaming now for, if not 70 years, close to 70 years. I'm being told or reminded that Louis Farrakhan accused Trump of trying to start a race war when Trump talked about sending the National Guard to Chicago in the effort to deal with crime in Chicago. Here's Trump trying to look out for the blacks, and nobody wants the blacks to really get help. Black people, so-called leadership, they don't want blacks to be helped. They want them doing what they're doing because it pays off for them. It doesn't pay off for the blacks who are carrying this stuff out, but it pays off for the blacks who encourage them to do it. Merry Christmas. Don't be afraid to say Merry Christmas. It is not Happy Holidays. This is Christmas. Happy Holidays include all this other dumb stuff. In America, it's Christmas. 888-775-3773. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father, and you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it, and you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Christmas. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, Christmas is Monday. Merry Christmas. It is not Merry Holiday. Why do you have to go along with the people who hate Christians? Anyone that says Happy Holiday, what they're telling you is that they hate Christians. They hate Christ, they hate God, and they hate you, and they hate Christmas. And so they say Happy Holiday, and you're too weak to say Merry Christmas. What is up? I want my country back, but it ain't coming back. So a couple of announcements. The Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. TheHakeReport.com. And then at 12 noon, a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv at 12 noon. A very interesting conversation with Dr. William James. He's an educator from New York City, and he has a new book called Black Supremacy. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
How many degrees do you have?
5.
Wow, educated up to yang.
Education is the true answer to liberation. Do you love Joe Biden?
Yes.
Do you love Adolf Hitler?
Yes.
Really?
Do you love white people? You have a book called Black Supremacy.
Most blacks do what?
Destroy.
Prove that.
Who killed other blacks the most?
Blacks.
Who turned nice neighborhoods into hoods? I'm giving you a hint.
I want money for what my ancestors went through.
And what did you do to earn that money?
I was born.
Born in the USA. I was born in the USA. Amazing. That's at 12 noon today. And I believe at 4 p.m. the American Anchor Baby. Am I right? Okay. The American Anchor Baby, flying high on energy given to him by God at 4 p.m. today. And don't forget to podcast Joel Friday TV. He's black. He's here every Tuesday. Joel Friday TV. And last but not least, Sunday morning fellowship. For everybody, doors open at 10:30. Come on down. Meetings start at 11 a.m. So if you're not in LA, you can't make it in person, you can watch it on rebuildingtheman.com/church at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. We had our last night. We had our last meeting of the year on a Thursday night for ladies. Every third Thursday night of the month for ladies, right? And first Thursday night of the month for men only. Sunday mornings, everybody. And we had our last one for this year last night. And the ladies showed up, from everywhere. And it was, you know how when you're watching like episodes of a TV show or something, or drama show, and they show like 7 episodes, and then the last episode, the 7th episode, is like they go out with a real bang, so that you'll be interested enough to want to go back and watch a new series. That's how the last night meeting was. It was deep. It was amazing. It was the ladies wanting to know the truth. It was interesting to the point that normally the meeting ends between 8:30 or 9. We went into 9:30 last night. Finally, I just ended it and walked away. I didn't get to bed until 11 p.m. last night. I had to get up at 3. I'm like, what the? 3 a.m. And the clock inside of me woke me up at 3. And I looked over at the clock. I'm like, this is a joke. I closed my eyes only for a moment, and the moment was like absolutely gone. Because once I finally got home, you just can't jump in the bed and go to sleep. But it was all worth it. I have realized, with the help of God, not on my own, I shouldn't have to say that, but I'll say it. I have realized so much from doing these meetings and talks and overcoming and watching and understanding the human nature. It is mind-blowing. And I do understand. Thank God. But amazing, ladies. It's going to be interesting to see how next year turn out with the ladies. It was mind-blowing last night. It really, really, really was. Not making it up. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Joe out of Phoenix, Arizona. Joe, Merry Christmas. Welcome to the show.
Merry Christmas, Jesse.
Thank you.
All right. So, Rashard Mendenhall is an idiot, and he was a mediocre player at best. But there has been a lot of pushback, very strong pushback on his insane comments.
Who have been pushing back on it? White people?
No, black people, like Robert Griffin III, who's another commentator, Jason Whitlock, who's another big-time commentator.
Why do you think white people have not been pushed? It's time for white people to push back. Don't you agree?
Sure. There have been some white folks doing it, too.
Like who, for example?
I don't have a name, but I've saw some articles, and it's been on the various sports shows.
But you can't think of one name. You name all these black folks you say have been pushing back. Mm-hmm. But you can't name one white person that have pushed back when they come in.
I believe I heard Colin Cowherd push back this week also on those comments.
Okay. But don't you think it's it's a leading question. Do you think it's amazing that whites are so afraid of blacks that they allow the blacks to destroy their own country?
Well, I disagree with how you phrased that. I don't think blacks are destroying the country.
Are they making it better?
Some are, some are not. Sure, just like every other group of people.
Like who, for example?
Like who's making it better?
Yeah.
There are, tons of black people are out there working hard every day.
Who is making it better? What black is making America better?
What individual black person is making the country better?
Yeah.
Well, there's doctors, there's scientists, there's lawyers, there's engineers. Well, Jesse, I didn't come ready for a list of names to give you, but there are plenty of
and you know why? Because there are none.
That's not
Obama, Big Mama screwed it up.
Wrong.
The so-called president of Harvard screwed up Harvard now.
And by the way,
every
Jesse,
time you
Obama
put these
deported
people
more people than any other president. You can talk over me all you want to, that's the truth. That's the truth. Da-da, in the water and blah, 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 blah.
Every time you put the blacks in control, they destroy it. They don't make it better.
That's just wrong and stupid.
How is that wrong?
Because there's plenty of black people who build and do great things and make this country great.
What black have made and making America better?
I called before and given you scientists and...
Give me one name of a black person that's making America better.
Why? Victor Glover.
You come back to your phone.
Victor Glover. He was the latest commander on the ISS space station.
Where is Victor Glover now?
Where is he now? He's still alive.
I don't know no Victor Glover. You don't know anybody. Why is it hard to be honest that? Why is it hard to say
you are not an honest person? You are a liar and just a horrible person. You're lying.
Why is it hard to say that black
You're lying
people?
Right now, Jesse.
I'm gonna let you speak, but you can't speak over me.
That's all you do. Go ahead.
Why can't you say, it's hard to say that black people, when the whites allow blacks to get in control or charge of their country, put them in a leadership role of their country, they always screw it up. They never make it better. Why is it hard to admit that?
Because it's not true. And Obama did a great job.
What's not true about that? See, you think Obama did a great job. You know,
he did.
So what you're saying is blacks don't even know they're screwed up. They think bad is good.
Objective facts, Justice. He lowered the deficit.
So when Black Lives Matter was shouting, what do we want? Dead cops. When do we want them? Now. Pigs in the blanket, fry them like bacon. Did Obama invite them to the White House or not?
Sure. Did Trump invite
And was that
Kid
a
Rock?
good thing to do?
No, I think BLM is
Did that make
idiot
America better by doing that?
No, but reducing the deficit did. Saving the banking system did.
When Obama was in the White House, did
you're
crime...
talking over me, Jesse. You're talking over me.
When Obama was in the White House, did crime get worse in Chicago?
No, actually it didn't.
In his neighborhood.
It stayed the same.
You're not being... See, you just caused me to realize that the blacks don't know that they're doing bad.
You're
they
wrong.
call bad good because everything you're saying...
You're wrong and you're lying right now.
I'm naming you. I'm listening off.
It's a shame, Jesse.
I'm listening off all the
Jesse,
stuff that the Father Messiah did.
Answer one question, Jesse.
I'm listening off all the stuff that I put him on hold. If you notice, I'm listening off all. Obama's a socialist, and I'm listening off all the things that he did, and this man calling them good. So the blacks are so into doing wrong, and not all, but most. They don't even know it's wrong. They call it good. That's amazing. Joe.
You are not an honest person at all, Jesse. You're
Joe.
like the bunch there.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Bye, Joe. I'm letting him go. See, you can't even communicate with them. But that was an interesting revelation. He's calling bad good. He can name me one black in leadership that has made America, that improved upon the country, made it better. Not one. I can name some from the good old days before the Civil Rights Movement, but since the Civil Rights Movement, I can't name you one. The worst thing that happened to the blacks other than abortion is the Civil Rights Movement. Joe from Phoenix, Arizona, cannot name one black person that the whites have allowed to get a leadership role in their country and they have made it better. Now, if that don't say Merry Christmas, I don't know what will. And he's black, supposedly. Is he black or black and white? I thought I heard somebody. him on your show or something.
He has some
missing
white
with
in
a
him.
little white in him.
He does have some white in him.
He doesn't recognize it.
Yeah, he does.
What?
He's even said that his wife is white.
Really? Isn't that interesting? He could not name one black person that the whites allowed to get a leadership role in their country, and they made it better.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks Obama made it better.
But
and that Trump
that's what I'm saying. Obama's stuff is still happening.
Yeah.
And it's nothing but destruction. And so Joe from Phoenix is calling good evil and evil good.
That's intellectuals for you.
That ain't intellectual, that's evil.
Right.
Well, that is, the intellect is evil.
Yeah.
The intellect itself is an enemy of God. It hate God. Aaron is the first time called out of New Jersey. Aaron, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Peterson. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Hi, how are you doing today? Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
You know, I was going to call in to provide some constructive criticism to the show, to be honest, that I was thinking about. But I actually kind of had a little bit of a revelation as you were talking to the last caller here, if you don't mind my bringing that up.
Okay.
So I was thinking back, because I'm thinking over, because you're talking about black people in America and their effect on society. And for me, it kind of makes me think about the heart of society. Like, it's not necessarily a political thing, in my opinion. I think it's something to do with the heart and the soul of people.
100%. It has nothing to do with politics.
Exactly. And the reason I say that is because I and my family am actually the original conservative. I'm a homegrown conservative. I chose to become a conservative because the party that, once I analyzed both of them on my own, it was an easy decision. Not even conservative. I would just say not liberal. But I moved my cousin over.
Are you black or white?
I'm white.
Oh, okay, you white. Okay, you move your cousin.
White. I'm white. I'm white and proud.
That's right. Go ahead.
But I moved my cousin over. Like, I would just talk to him on the phone, and we would just talk heart to heart. And he ended up moving over from the Liberal Party over to the right. But the thing I'm realizing is, even though he may in name have moved over to the right, he still holds all the same values and all the same lifestyle techniques and all the same personality traits that he still had as a liberal. And in my opinion, it's just like, I don't really buy it, like the whole party thing anymore. Like, I'm not really buying it. And I'm realizing that it's really the heart of people that we need to really be thinking about here. And it's about, like I served in the military for 6 years, and one of the main things that they enforce in the military is integrity first. If you were in the military, you know this, and it's about doing the right thing when nobody's looking. I don't know where I'm really going with this, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but it was just kind of a revelation of mine. Like,
don't they have a black man in charge of the military now?
They do. In fact, when I was in the Air Force, the Chief Master Sergeant was a black guy, and he made all these statements at the time about George Floyd and all this black segregation. I mean, he was race peddling really bad. He was one of the reasons why I left the military.
They have a black man in charge now of the military. All those interrogation things you said that they told y'all to be, that's gone out the window now. And they have a black man in charge of the military, and it's a mess. It went from horrible to horrible to horrible. The black man is destroying the whole military. Can you imagine that?
Mr. Peterson, to be completely honest with you, it kind of breaks my heart. I actually, I was forced to get the COVID vaccine as well in the military.
You were forced to get it?
Yes, I was. And at the time when I was getting out, I was just about to get out of the military at the time. And I asked my commander, I said, sir, I emailed him personally, and I said, sir, if you don't mind, I prefer not to. I'm about to get out. I have my personal reasons. May I opt out of getting the vaccine? He said, Airman Logan, if you're not there tomorrow, you're going to be getting paperwork. We're going to be figuring out how to get you kicked out of the military dishonorable.
And now they're begging people to join the military. Nobody joining. Let me ask real fast, and then I got to run here. So you're white. Are you afraid to speak up to the blacks?
So the issue is I've been subject to so much conditioning in my life to be afraid that I've been almost conditioned away to have a natural response to be afraid. But I've grown over time, and I've realized right from wrong. I've taken time to reflect on this kind of stuff, and I do speak up. I say Merry Christmas. I don't let people suppress me when I'm talking. I say what I'm saying. I say what I'm thinking. I say what I'm feeling. But do I feel fear, to answer your question? I absolutely think I do, because nowadays, are you kidding me? I mean, I don't need to go into detail. You already do it better than I do, but what's going on out there, all this terrible stuff that black people are doing to white people and the government, absolutely, I'm scared of them.
And
Absolutely.
So if you are afraid...
Without a doubt.
If you are afraid, and you're right about it, it's just out of control. There's a genocide upon white people. How would that get better if you're afraid to speak up about it? How are the blacks going to get better?
Well, I would answer that by saying I might be afraid and I might be scared, but I'm only an individual. I can only affect situations that I'm in person.
That's all you're supposed to do.
Present.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
That's all. If I'm in it present and there's a situation going on that calls for me to speak up, I will speak up.
Do you have
fear? Even if I am scared. Even if I am scared, yes. But even if I am scared, I make a point to speak up in situations like that.
Do you have fear?
I do.
Are you a Christian?
I don't identify as a Christian, no.
Are you a Christian?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Why aren't you a Christian?
I just don't go around saying it. I never really went to church or anything like that, but Christianity is the best religion on this side
So why aren't you a Christian then?
I don't know. I never sat down and
Can you hold air?
It's a good question.
Can you hold for me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't mind holding.
All right, let me take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. It's Open Line Friday. Merry Christmas. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's the last Jesse Lee Peterson Show of 2023. It's Friday, December 22nd, 2023 AD. The lines are full. We appreciate it. We will be right back to your calls. JLP will be right back to your calls. But first, Hake news on fake news. The far-left female-run outlet The Skim reports on mess that these ladies worry their pretty little heads about as Americans continue to remain polarized. Here are some of the biggest stories expected to come up at the table. Is the Israel-Hamas war. After more than 70 days of war, about 20,000 Palestinians and 1,200 Israelis have been killed. Earlier this week, Hamas's top leader was in Egypt to discuss a possible ceasefire and the release of hostages in Gaza, but now Hamas is saying they will not release hostages until Israel pauses their offensive, with UN warnings of starvation in Gaza and tensions in Israel over the killed hostages. The issue is likely to come up at many family tables at a time when generational divides on the topic are wide. The young people think they know so much, and the old people are set in their ways. Culture wars, like those taking place at college campuses. That includes issues ranging from anti-Semitism and free speech to diversity and inclusion initiatives. It all comes as Harvard University's black female president is under a microscope, most recently over allegations of plagiarism. Allegations means there's no evidence. Isn't there evidence? Anyway, some say the pressure on Dr. Claudine Gay, mildly attractive. Yeah, I think she's kind of cute. Short-haired black woman. As a move for accountability and academic integrity at one of the world's most prestigious universities, Harvard. Others see it as a political attack. It's both. College campuses aren't the only flashpoints in the so-called culture wars. The GOP primary debates have focused significant airtime on gender and abortion. That's short for abortion. Speaking of the debates 2024, Americans can't agree on much, say the ladies, but they can agree that democracy seems to be at risk. Good. We don't like democracy. Mob rule by the idiots. The question is from who? The GOP's leading man, our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, faces 4 criminal cases. He might not be on the ballot in Colorado. And his legal problems, so-called problems, could reach the Supreme Court of the United States. As for incumbent President Biden, the 81-year-old's critics say it might be time to retire. Past time. Biden also faces an impeachment inquiry, and his son, Hunter Biden, where's Hunter? Faces 3 federal gun charges. I disavow gun charges, federal gun charges. Makes me want to spit. With the 2024 election about to kick off, Congress barely able to hold down a Speaker of the House. This may not be the year that no one brings up politics, maybe in 2025. So the ladies have tips to get through it because they need to cope. There was a mass murder in Prague. That's in Czechia, also known as the Czech Republic. Both Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, report on this. Yesterday, Thursday, the Czech Republic is between Germany, Poland, Austria. It neighbors those countries, Slovakia, whatever that is. Yesterday, a gunman, fired shots at a university because he's not a man. Man wouldn't do this. Killing at least 14 people there and injuring dozens, 25 more, 10 in serious condition. It's the Czech Republic's worst, deadliest mass shooting, so-called, in history. Decades, anyway. Police say the 24-year-old shooter, unnamed yet, I guess, student at the university, first killed his father before turning to the school. Authorities believe the gun male died by suicide. That's a liberal talk for committed suicide. And that his actions were not connected to terrorism, although they're yet to uncover his motive, at least according to this report. Police investigating whether violent messages posted to Telegram were connected to the gun male. Czech authorities are investigating whether the gun male is connected to a double homicide in a suburb of Prague last week. It was a popular area, tourist area. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP.
stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question: why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care? There are people who say you're supposed to care. We have every way that you can watch the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com. And you can also listen on your iPhone and iPad if you're busy anywhere in the world, or up and down the world, around the world, whatever way you believe. On your iPhone or iPad, if you're busy, you can watch it live. You can podcast, of course, by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us on cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. Christ is King. Amazing. And rumble.com. You got to know how to rumble. Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. All right. Like, follow, ring the bell. And to donate, and we're going to get you in super chats. Donate and have them read out loud by buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. This is Trump. This is how Trump does it. Just to show you, I'm telling you the truth. This is Trump. This is Trump's thumb. And he does it like that. See? It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind.
That was easy.
Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
24 hours I have it's innocent. Could you help me?
I'm just a reporter.
Tis the season of giving. Bring me some McDonald's.
No doubt about it. Our border is secure.
From the mountains to the sea. Which mountains?
Christmas Smackdown. Here it is.
Where's your Christmas spirit?
Today we're going to be talking about why people should say happy holidays.
Christmas is Christmas is Christmas is Christmas.
That's right. Not all, but most. Charlie Brown. I have on my Charlie Brown Christmas shirt. Charlie Brown. He is a clown. Why is everybody always picking on me? Charlie Brown. Merry Christmas, y'all. Let me go quickly back to the cause I put Aaron on hold because he's white, and we're talking about white fear and how the blacks destroys things, and not all, but most. So, Aaron, you say you do have fear, and then I asked if you were a Christian, and you said that you don't identify with that, you don't call yourself that, and I ask why not?
To answer your question, why not? I would say because I never really spent the time to really sit down and say, okay, I'm a Christian. Let me go ahead and sit down and write it in my little notebook so I make sure every night I go to sleep. You know, I never really had that idea. To me, it was more waking up was all I needed. That was all I needed and more, and then also more on top of that. That was all I needed.
You can you can say that you're a Christian. I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm just telling you, without identifying, you don't need to take on the identity. You want to overcome identities, right? But I'm a Christian, but I don't see that as my identity. I'm an American, but that's not my identity. Christianity is the greater religion on this side of heaven, and everybody hates Christianity because of that. And so we must not, I and you and no one who is a Christian must not be afraid to say, I'm a Christian. Because inwardly, you're overcoming all the identity things.
Absolutely. And just to make sure I make myself clear, anytime I'm filling out a document, filling out anything, or somebody's asking me, I do say Christian. I'm just saying, I don't know. When it's just between me and you, I would say I'm not really a Christian. I'm just me. You know what I mean? Between me and you. But whenever I'm filling anything out or asking or answering that for somebody, I have no problem saying I'm a Christian.
Amazing.
I have no problem saying I'm a Christian. That is the number one religion. Jesse, what you said about Muslims being taught how to lie since they're born, that is such a profound statement. I just want to make sure your followers hear that, because they really are taught how to lie from the tongue, from birth.
Amazing.
I don't know how. And Jesse, before you I know you got to go, I just want to thank you. Ever since I started following the path, this is going to sound inadvertent to people, but I've actually lost. I started thinking about it. How many people in my life have I lost ever since I started opening up my eyes and stuff?
Yeah.
And I started counting them one at a time. And I started thinking in my head, I said, that's too slow. I need to start counting by the families. I need to start counting by the groups here, because one at a time is too slow.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
I started counting by the groups, 1 group, 2 group, the military, everything. I mean, get ready, everybody. If you really are serious about it, I lost my girlfriend. I did a video appointment with you after that breakup, and we talked about it. I lost all her. They all got rid of me so quick. They acted like I was a stranger.
Well,
they acted like I was a stranger.
They were never your friends or family. That's why.
Nope.
So you're now seeing reality of that. One last quick question. Being white in America, your country, because this country was founded by white men, and with the help of God, they were able to create the greatest country in the world out of nothing.
Hands down.
What is it like being white? What is it like watching your country be destroyed without any pushback at all from white people?
As somebody who was blessed to be raised in a community that was mostly white, with good American, white, America-loving people, proud to be American, proud. And when I say proud, I mean stand up. I don't know if kids do this anymore. We used to have to stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sure did.
In class.
Yep.
Yep. We used to have to stand
We
up
did
and say
too.
the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. Stand up. Everybody look at the flag. Then y'all can do your joking around and messing around. But I was blessed enough to be raised in that. So I have a glimpse into what it's like to see beauty. And now that I see this, I can't explain it to anybody unless you've been in the same positions and the same situations I've been in, because it really, it's hard to put into words. That's how I'll answer it.
Amazing.
It's hard to put into words in a bad way. In a bad way.
Well, it sounds like you're working on yourself, so continue to do that. Do the silent prayer and watch the thoughts, and I promise you, fear will be taken away from you, and you'll be able to live in this world, inside of your world, in this world without fear, and it's going to be amazing for you.
Mr. Peterson, I don't have any words to thank you. I've had so many gurus and people. Nobody is anything even close, Mr. Peterson. It's not even you. It's what you're helping us take off of our mask, take this mask off of our face.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome, Aaron, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and your crew and all of your followers. Safe travels, safe everything. God bless you all. Merry Christmas.
You too, bud. You too. Oh, amazing. Thank you. You don't have to have fear, folks. Fear is not of God. God did not give you a spirit of fear. That came from your God, the devil. James, there's a line open, 888-7753-773. James out of Maryland. James, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How you doing? You got my question there in front of you?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Do you have my question there in front of you or no?
No, you haven't told me yet. You haven't asked me yet.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Is it when I'm confronted with situations like someone yelling in the middle of a workshop area that it's okay to be gay, should I not say, well, my God hates sodomites and pedophiles? Or should I just shut up? Or if I'm being confronted, like, say, my daughters and what they're being taught at school and everything, is it? I mean, this is my God, right? And I wanted to mention something else. One other thing. You just got through talking with the other caller about Christianity, and I would say Christianity isn't a religion; it's a reality. It's my life. It's what I live. You know.
So, number one, if somebody is at work and saying that, there's nothing. It doesn't need a response from you.
But if they're confronting me, shouldn't I respond now?
No. And then number two, if your kids, they're your kids in these schools, and the schools are brainwashing them, you have a right, and you should, and you have an obligation to your children to take them out of those schools, because you're supposed to protect your children until they become of age.
Yeah, they're actually both of my daughters are of age now. But
are they like grown?
This is what I was confronted with as I was raising them.
I see.
And dad's just racist, homophobic, blah blah. Because I tell them the truth about things like George Floyd, Trayvon Martin.
Are they adults now?
Hands up, don't shoot.
James.
Well, I got divorced, and my wife became anti-Christian.
James.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, James. I think James out. See if James can hear me. Let me know, and I'll come back to him. Ernest out of Detroit, Michigan. Ernest, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, Merry Christmas to you, Jesse.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
I just wanted to say one thing. If you look at it with a keen eye, the Congress of the United States is majority white. Wouldn't you say that white people have destroyed this country and given it up?
No.
They the one that's in charge.
But they're letting the blacks destroy it.
But my thing is about it, They make up the policies and the laws. So wouldn't you put that on them? I'm not saying blacks didn't do anything. I'm not.
No, they
all.
have a lot of blacks in government now, and the whites in government are afraid. The whites in government are afraid to say no to the blacks in the same way that the whites in corporate America, the whites in the universities, the whites in the cotton field, they are afraid to say no to the blacks, and especially to the black women in government. And so they allow the blacks to destroy America.
But would you say a president like President Joe Biden, he has an open border, crisis at the border, and he hasn't addressed anything. Wait a minute, he's white and he's destroying it.
No, he's not.
I don't trust Joe Biden at all. That's just my opinion. I don't trust him at all.
Joe Biden is not destroying America. Joe Biden appears, and I don't know for sure, I haven't seen a medical record, not to even know that he's the president. Somebody else is running the government, running our country with illegal aliens through Joe Biden.
But you got to be honest about this. It's majority white people in Congress, and the U.S. representatives are mostly white people.
But they're afraid of the blacks.
That's their problem.
No, not that. You're right. That is their problem. But the point is, due to their fear of the blacks, they're allowing the blacks to destroy America.
Look how many illegal aliens are coming to this country.
That started with Obama.
It started with Obama. I never said Obama did anything for black people, neither, or the Americans. It just seemed like our own government is selling us out. And this is just one other thing. I just think that this country
accelerated with Obama as well. You do know that, right?
Yes, and I just think that this country is done.
When you say you say that Obama didn't do anything for the blacks, what is it that the blacks wanted Obama to do for them?
They wanted special privileges from Obama, but Obama didn't do anything. They would always say, this is the excuse they used to make, where he's a representative of all Americans, not just black people. I don't think Obama did anything for them. And
should he have done something for them?
No, they should do for themselves.
Yeah.
And my thing is about it is too, this country is done. They're trying to support wars that they can't afford.
Yeah.
You're sending money to the Ukraine, and you got this fool Zelensky come to the White House. If he could have came in my face, I would have told him to get the hell out of here. That's just me. Because I just think, like Jesse, you never served in the military. I served in the military.
I wanted to.
Y'all say y'all love this country, but y'all ain't willing to sacrifice for it.
That's not true.
There's a lot of cowards in America. That's just my opinion.
I mean,
because,
Ernest.
Ernest. Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, and all blacks that I knew in on my plantation there, when we were looking forward to the military when we turned 18, because we have seen our family members go. We wanted to go, and so when I turned 18, I went and registered for the military. But because I had cleft lip, I wasn't. They weren't taking anybody or anything in the military at the time. I wasn't able to go, but I wanted to go to the military when I turned 18. And we were taught that way. We wanted to be, but the military it was choicy, in what it would take.
What I'm saying also, too, how could you support wars? You're sending money to Israel. Israel has a right to defend themselves. I do agree with that. But we can't afford it. And this government seems like, our government seems like they're anti-American. They're anti-people here, where they do everything for everybody else. How could you do that and sustain yourself?
Yeah.
And I try to tell people don't want to believe me. There's going to be another 9/11, and it's going to be worse than the first one. And they think that they can't be hit. That's what America is delusional about. They think that China won't attack. They think Russia won't attack. These people will blow your head off.
How you feeling about all
it.
this, Ernest? All these, and you're right in what you're saying. How do you feel about all these things that are happening?
This is the fall of America.
How do you feel about it?
I feel very uncomfortable.
And why?
Because you never know who's going to attack you.
Yeah.
White people in this country, I seen something. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I seen something that happened on my job, and you may not agree with me on this. And I seen something. You know how some people say white privilege and all that. I seen it happen on my job. But at the same time, I just look at some things that whites do, and I said a lot of this stuff is their fault.
Their fault.
They doing it to themselves.
Themselves.
They doing it to themselves. You want to go into the Middle East. You want to do that. You already know.
Well, you
who's
know
the problem.
Let me tell you this, Ernest, and I got to run. War is 99% of the time about money and perceived power. There is no real, and yes, we're supposed to protect ourselves from our enemy if you have to, but there's no real reason to have a war. It's always about money and power, and they'll sacrifice innocent people's lives to get the money and power that they want, and they'll lie to us about why they're having these wars, and we find out years later, as we already knew, that it wasn't even necessary. It's about money and power.
Yeah, I'd like to say one other thing. The caller from 2 callers over, I'd like to say, just tell them thank you for his service from veteran to veteran. Right. And God bless you, and Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you guys.
You too, Ernest. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, man. Thank you for your call. Amazing call.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Amazing.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Before I get to there's a line open, 888-7753-773. Daniel is a first-time caller out of Texas. Daniel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. First off, I'd just like to say I love and respect everything that you do. I'm a white Christian male.
You white?
I'm white. Yeah, and proud of it.
White and proud. Right on.
Yeah, and a patriot too. I'm more than white is that I'm an American. The question I had for you might be a little off topic for today's session. I've been listening to you for a while, and I absolutely love everything that you do. But what I wanted to know about, just kind of get some kind of insight into your thoughts on Black American music. I'm a professional jazz musician as a white guy, and it's kind of weird. Because I'm sorry, let me collect my thoughts. The way the music has developed, now, like, most Black American music is just objectifying females. All the rap, all the hip hop is just awful, really, towards women. I wanted to see what you thought about the progression of the music there, and I think that
Black American music is a mess. It's junk. There's no rhyme or reason for it. In the good old days, when I was growing up, Black American music was amazing.
Oh, all the great jazz musicians.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is how it devolved.
Yeah. It's
into
a mess
this just
now.
Garbage.
Joel disagree, but Joel Black. But you're right, Daniel. Black Americans' music, exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, is a mess. It's just a bunch of junk. It has no nothing. It's just junk. And they are worshiping the woman. I mean, she has completely become their god, and the music is a mess.
Well,
and I remember jazz music when I was growing up, too. It was amazing.
Yeah, and that's what would uplift the Black people. in this country. That's what lifts everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's gone now, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, how do we rectify this situation where it's...
By being honest and sending them back to Africa.
Oh, man, you are the coolest guy ever. That's messed up, man. I mean, but I mean, African music too. Like you study the stuff out of like West Africa, Ghana. I mean, their drum, it's incredible. It's vastly superior to, rock, like what white people play, rock beats and things like that. I mean, like the Afro-Cuban stuff, all the stuff that comes out of Africa is rhythmically it's on a way different level.
Let me ask you, Daniel, because of time, are you white?
Yes, sir. I'm very white.
Oh, yeah, you said that. And are you afraid to tell the blacks the truth?
I'm not afraid of anybody to tell them the truth about music.
How about, no, are you afraid to tell the blacks the truth?
The truth? Which truth?
That white folks are not their problem, they're their own problem, and that they need to become individuals again and stop blaming the whites.
No, I'm not afraid to say that, and because of people like you that just spell it out like that.
So you're not afraid to be honest with them?
No, sir.
So what do you think about when you sit back and you watch what's happening in your country today and you see white people just afraid and they allow, not all, but they allow most of the blacks to just destroy their country. They attack the whites, they break in their homes, they carjack them, they beat them up, they take over their government, their schools. Sitting back watching that, what are you thinking and saying about it to yourself?
To myself, I don't like it. I will vote against it. There's not much as an individual myself I could do other than, just trying to be a good person and
Are you surprised at how afraid majority of whites are of the blacks?
It is pretty strange to me how afraid some people are, and I think that has something to do with the music too, where somehow we just accept this degeneracy.
Amazing. Well, I hope the whites hurry up and wake up because there's nowhere to go after this. I know that Elon Musk is trying to make it to the moon somewhere, and but it ain't going to end up very pretty if this continues.
I think you're absolutely right about that. And, man, the wisdom, I'm not trying to just kiss your butt or whatever. The wisdom that comes off of you, man, I've learned so much from you, Jesse Lee Peterson, man. I really have the utmost respect.
Well, I appreciate that, man, but stay with it. And you're right about the music. Black music is crap. It wasn't always that way, but reality is, including the jazz. I used to listen to jazz. I can't tell you when the last time I listened to it. I don't even know when the last time I even heard jazz music playing anywhere. And it used to be so nice.
Well, that's what's so strange about it. It's all like white kids with fucking excuse my language, with degrees, but who have kind of taken over that aspect of black culture.
Amazing. Daniel, Merry Christmas and thanks for your call, man.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. Thank you so much for talking to me.
All right.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I got to take a quick break. Back in a moment. One line open, 888-77-53773. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Personal shout outs, I'll do them for you. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas shout outs, Happy New Year shout outs, Happy Birthday shout outs, congratulations shout outs, encouragement shout outs. I will do them for you. Go to Rebuilding the Man. No. Cameo. CAMEO. I'll do cameos for you. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. All right. And don't forget the end of the year donations to Bond, a tax write-off for you as well. You can do it with credit cards, mail in, whatever. Go online. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663, or you can mail it. P.O. Box 35090, LA, California, 90035. P.O. Box 35090, LA, California, 90035. And y'all been helped, so I shouldn't have to say continue to help us to help others, all right? And I thank you in advance. Super chat.
Super chats.
Commander Kim donated on Odyssey yesterday.
You Odyssey, ODY.
Referring to something.
SEE.
That's right, .com/JC Lee Peterson.
Amazing.
Maybe that Bible verse says there's nothing new under the sun, something Joel Friday brought up about history repeating itself, because there has been multiple civilizations before us, each building up like the Tower of Babel, then being destroyed and resetting to a stone age.
Amazing. Do you believe that history repeats itself?
Yes, in a sense.
What do you mean?
In
what that sense?
In the sense that human nature doesn't learn.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
Epstein's ghost called in a super chat.
Thank you, Epstein Ghost.
Saying, hey, Hake, can you play your Christmas intro song? Because I'm here with Maze, Tony from California, and Joe from Phoenix, and I need to get them in the Christmas spirit because they are cranky. Nice suggestion on the Hake Report. I forgot. I have a Christmas version, Hassan, so we'll play it. Instead of the AJ Gallardo original theme song, I guess.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Did you hear Joe this morning from Phoenix?
I was halfway listening, yes.
He could not name one black person, not one, that's been put in a leadership role in America, and they have made the country better.
Right.
Not one. Isn't that amazing?
Right.
That's deep. I'm telling you, black people don't make it better. They used to prior to the civil rights movement, but not anymore. Amazing. Thank you.
On buymeacoffee.com, Priscilla from Houston bought 3. My answer to the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
We should care about...
She said we should?
Yeah, we should care what people think of us because we are an example of God, just as Jesus was an example.
Amazing. Thank you. Do you think Jesus cared what people thought about him? What's up? Thank you, though. I appreciate it. I put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
Hey, Jesse, says someone with a coffee. What did Jesus mean when he cried out to God and said, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" Was this a moment of doubt for Jesus?
He was like, Daddy, where are you? Come back. I want to come back home. Amazing. He wanted to go back with the Father. He felt what every human being feel when they're turned away from the Father. Lost. Thank you.
Rocky the Mexican, ! Mexican flag emoji. Bought a coffee. Hi, Grandpa Jesse. He black.
Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. He black.
Question. Can we have an intellectual mind and use it as a tool and be conscious about it without being involved with the ego? Because I was an intellectual and had a personality of a grandiose narcissist, but not anymore. What are your thoughts, team? Gracias, amigos.
Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, it should be only used as a tool. You know, but other than that, you don't need it. It's evil. It's evil. Do not live by the intellect. You want a no-thinking life. Amazing. Thank you.
Soul Conscious bought 5 coffees. Merry Christmas to JLP and crew, and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too. Thank you very much.
Truck driver bought a coffee. Merry Christmas, Senor Jesse and crew. You guys did amazing this year. Hope you enjoy your well-deserved vacation. Also, I can't get over the guy being scared of Santa Claus. LOL.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you, and I appreciate your support, and we're going to enjoy the vacation. Thank you.
A generous donation from Being Enlightened Until I Rise. 34 coffees.
Amazing.
Jesse, Merry Christmas! Christmas tree emoji, gift emoji, holy bleep, ! That was for Hake and the kids, I guess. It was January yesterday. Where has the time gone? Thank you for what you do, sir.
Time go by like 90 going north. And Merry Christmas to you, and thank you very much.
Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds. Hey, Jesse, Trump needs to throw a rally in the hood and tell black people the truth about all.
That's interesting, too, in that conservatives tend not to hold rallies in the hoods, and yet Donald Trump is having and has had a major impact on a lot of the blacks in the hood. That's deep when you think about it. But you're right. If it needs to be done, I really wish he would. But he's having an impact anyway. Thank you.
Over on, also on D Live, WD41 donated a few ninja sleds. Nice. Thanks to Jesse and the crew for the educational and entertaining content. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all the D Live chatters, he says, with yet another ninja sled. And thanks to God for literally making all of this possible with a third ninja sled.
Amazing. Thank you, and you're absolutely right. Thanks to, hey, D-Live. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you for your support.
Greenwall gave a diamond. It's not the black athletes, it's the Jewish owners, he says.
Nope, that's not true. Because each adult is responsible for him or herself. You cannot and should not and cannot and should not blame anyone else for the responsibility of another adult. Jews are not to blame. Amazing. Thank you. And that's the problem now. Instead of putting it back on the blacks, somebody is always blaming somebody else for the fall, for the weakness of black people. It's amazing. That's not love. Thank you.
Also from D Live, Kid Combo 1.0 with a diamond. If a woman has 4 baby daddies, what is she doing wrong?
sledding around.
Nice.
Thank
Misty
you.
donated a diamond. New chopsticks for Jappy. Merry Christmas, Monikas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Hopefully she didn't trick me into saying something bad.
I know.
TJ Hilliard gave his first time chat on JLP Talk on Twitch saying amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Games for Rec donated a diamond. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
Urinal Chills asks, are the lines on that shirt corduroy? No, they're printed.
They're printed.
But they have a... Wait, is there any texture to them that you can feel?
Yeah, they have
it's embroidered?
They have Christmas tree feel.
Okay.
Embroidered feel. That's a good word for it.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Merry
Christmas.
Urinal Chills on Rumble says...
Charlie Brown, he is a clown.
That Charlie Brown?
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Charlie Brown. That's from the Coasters, 1959.
Wow.
I sang it in like junior high. That's how I know that song.
Really?
Yep. In chorus.
Your teacher had you singing it?
Yeah.
Really? Nice.
Yep. Classic. Urinal Chills.
Thank you.
A Rumble rant. He's a monthly supporter subscriber on Rumble. I'm starting the WFL, White Football League. The blacks can keep the NFL.
An amazing idea. Really, when these blacks make these kind of statements, they say, okay, we're going to go and start our white football team. Let y'all just have your black football team. They would go out of business in 6 months. It would be over. It really would. And yet they have the audacity, the hatred of the heart to make these kind of statements. It's mind-blowing. Thank you.
Also, a monthly subscriber, Prep Hound Paul on Rumble. Did that caller, meaning Joe from Phoenix, just say Obama saved the banking industry? He needs to wake up and realize Obama bailed out the rich, his buddies, at the cost of the American taxpayer. Mind-blown emoji.
You're absolutely right. Thank you. Amazing. Joel Friday said, it's a fact about the blacks. If they have their own team, they'll destroy it. If white left.
Turn it into a ghetto?
They'll turn it into a ghetto in 6 months. And so Joel Friday, he black, put me on the white team. I'm 30%. Amazing.
Urinal Chills.
Everybody want to be white. It's up, baby Jessica's daddy.
Whatever happened to that Bo Bergdahl person that Obama brought home? The dude who went AWOL and joined ISIS back in the day?
That's a good point. I haven't heard anything about him in a long time. And speaking of Obama weakened the military, remember? Remember when those little skinny African people were taking over the ships in the ocean?
Yeah, the Somali pirates?
Yeah.
Crazy. I vaguely remember that.
It's happening now again, and they have a black person in charge of the military. I rest my case.
Terrible.
Can you hold there?
Yes.
And we'll pick up, I will get you some calls. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Let me go to Ja. I hope I'm saying that right. A first-time caller out of California. Ja, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse.
Hey, Ja.
What's up, man?
All is well, sir.
Man, he black.
He black.
Oh, man. Man, I love listening to you, man. Every morning, man, for the past 3 years, man. You, everybody at the network is doing good work.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, I just called in to let you know, listening to you, I turned from a beta to an alpha.
Oh, amazing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. So about 2 months ago, I moved out of mama house.
Right on.
Yeah, man. So
how old are you?
I'm 29.
Right on, man.
Yeah, man. She was 34, and I moved into her house. She had a kid and all that, and I was with her for like a year and a half. and I've been listening to you for 3 years. So I'm the kind of guy, like, I think, I have to learn the hard way. So, yeah, man. So it was pretty, like, it was crazy because I seen, like, you kind of got me prepared for it. Like, I seen all the games. I seen all the tricks from, like, a mile away. And, yeah, man, it was a mess.
Well, I'm
like,
glad that
definitely.
you finally moved out and now you're doing it yourself.
Oh, yeah, man. God's good. And he, like, threw me alley-oop. Like, as I was moving out, I got my own place. I doubled my salary.
Right on.
And he just blessed me. So, yeah, man, like, thanks for, like, what you guys do over there, man. I just had to call in and, like, let you know that, man.
Right on. Stay with it. Let me ask, at 19, why did you move in with a woman that old and that already had a child? What made you move in?
Oh, no, I was 28, 27, bro.
Oh, when you first moved in with her?
Yeah, man, I'm 29.
Oh, okay. Oh, amazing. Well, I'm glad you're doing it, man. And listen, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Work on you, and your life will become amazing. I'm telling you, the life that God has created for you already will become apparent to you, and it's just going to be amazing. It's going to get better for you.
Oh, yeah, man. I can already tell, man. Right. I mean, he really, blessed me a lot, man.
Right on.
Right on. Like I said, he threw me alley-oop,
Yeah.
I'm in the best position of my life, so.
Right on.
Yeah, man, y'all keep up the good work over there, man, and I'll call back and give you an update.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas and an amazing call. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
All right, buddy. See, you can wake up if you want to, folks. The way has been made already. You don't have to live in your hell. But I understand most people love their hell, and they're not going to want to overcome it. I totally understand it. But you don't have to love your misery. You can overcome it. You can be free from misery. You can be free from fear. You can be free from post-traumatic stress disorder, whatever they call it, because that's not really what it is. You can be free from loneliness, suicidal thoughts, emptiness, envy, jealousy, strife, revenge. You can be free from that if you want to. If you want to. But you could also stay in your hell. Santino, I believe, our first time call out of Texas. Santino, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
All is well, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you guys over there at Bond. You guys doing an amazing job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Jesse, I called to try to answer the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why are we supposed to care?
Well, my first thought was we shouldn't care for anybody, what they're thinking. But then I realized I kind of backtracked, and I'm thinking if I didn't listen to what you were thinking about how Americans are angry, then I wouldn't have had an opportunity to deal with my own anger.
No, but the question is, why are we supposed to care what other people say or think about us?
Well, I don't think we should care what they think, but if it's the truth, maybe we should hear it. Maybe care about it that way.
Do you care what people say or think about you?
I used to care what people thought about me.
And why?
But I don't. And
why did you then?
Maybe because I was a beta.
Boo!
Yeah, but I don't anymore. I don't care what people think, I mean, and how your show helped me was with anger was a big part of how your show helped me. And so I'm thankful for that.
Right on. You went and forgave your mother?
No, my mom, she came to me when I was young, in my 20s, and she apologized for all the things she did when we were kids, and
nice.
So I forgave her then.
Right
so
on.
Some moms do that, not all moms do.
Right, absolutely.
I'm just glad my mom saw what she did, and she was able to ask for forgiveness. So
that's amazing. Well, I appreciate your response to the biblical question, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Jesse. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye now. Amazing. 888-77-53773. Let me go to Maze. Maze out of Ohio. Maze, welcome to the show. Merry Christmas.
Good morning, Jesse.
Morning. Merry Christmas.
I love myself, so I can't say that.
You love yourself?
I'm not indoctrinated.
You love yourself?
Yes.
And where do you get the love from to love yourself?
Thanks from the law of God.
Where?
God's law. From God's law.
So you get
love thyself as thy neighbor.
You
love
get
thyself as thy neighbor.
You get the love from God. You say God's law
Yes,
to love
Spirit
yourself.
makes me love. Yes.
But
If you don't love yourself, you can't love nothing else.
But you don't have love to love yourself with.
I don't have what?
You don't have love to love yourself.
Excuse me?
You don't
If I
have.
didn't love myself, I would be hating you.
What self do you love?
I look at you as my neighbor.
What self
And
do you
anybody else that I talk to as my neighbor.
What self do you love?
And I love them as I love myself. That's what I do.
What self do you love?
Me. That's why I don't let things touch me. And I care less about what people think of me.
Describe yourself.
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
But who is
I
yourself?
wouldn't harm myself. I wouldn't do anything to go to jail. I wouldn't do anything to harm other people. And I wouldn't teach other people to hate other people.
You love
That's
white
how I
people?
love myself that much.
You love white people?
Excuse me?
You love white people?
Yes, I love white people. Now, can I ask you, do you love everything Caucasian people do?
I don't love everything they do, but I love
Well, thank
all
you.
white people.
So when you love all white people and you don't love everything they do, and can you name some of the stuff that they do that you don't like?
I don't like the fact that they let the blacks destroy their country. I don't like the fact that they put blacks in position of decision making, knowing that the blacks are going to make the wrong decisions. I don't like the fact that they won't tell the blacks the truth so that the blacks can start looking at themselves and overcoming. I don't like the fact that they let the blacks beat them up and break in their homes and carjack them and knockout game. I don't like the fact that the whites won't stand up for themselves in their own country.
Oh, and then now can I give my opinion of what you just said?
Yes.
Back when you said the Democrats, y'all speak of the Democrats. So back in the days when you and the young lady left off talking about the men leaving the home, when black people were Republicans.
May, hold on. Let me take. Can you hold? Let me take a break.
Sure, I can.
All right, hold on. 888-7753-773. One more hour to go. Merry Christmas. Hake is coming in with the hate news. Not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
A whole lot of magic. mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the final episode of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show for 2023. It is Friday, December 22nd in AD 2023. The lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your great calls and the rest of the super chats and more stuff. But first, Hake news, not fake news. The Fallen State is happening at noon Pacific time today. And then after that, American Anchor Baby. 4-ish, maybe a little bit earlier even, perhaps. But it could definitely live during the 4 o'clock hour. And, of course, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. And shout out to the ladies for an excellent women's forum. I can fairly assume the last women's forum of the year was last night, third Thursday of the month. First Thursday is men's forum, happening probably in the new year. Nice. Starbucks attracting trashy libs, Commie Nonsense Network. CNN reports on a quote, many of our stores have experienced incidents of vandalism. And that's Starbucks CEO Laxman Narasimhan saying that he wants people to stop protesting its stores over the Hamas-Israel war, or Israel-Palestine war. Some of the recent demonstrations began at the coffee chain after the coffee chain tried to distance themselves from pro-Palestine positions taken by Starbucks Workers United, a union for evil Starbucks workers. And Vin Diesel, don't work with the females. CNN and The Skim report on Vin Diesel. Yesterday, a former assistant to the Fast and Furious star sued him. Vin Diesel, accusing Vin Diesel of S-wordal battery, gender-based discrimination, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Only a woman can do this, right? Can sue him for this stuff, right? No man would sue him for this. And creating a hostile work environment. Asta Jonasson, it's just like a Swedish and Danish name, said Diesel's company, One Race, hired her in 2010 during the filming of Fast 5. She alleges that one night she was asked to wait, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to skip that part. And blah, 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 blah. And One Race's president allegedly called Jonasson and fired her after less than 2 weeks on the job. She has these sour grapes to this day. 13 years later. The lawsuit also accuses another One Race supervisor of inappropriate behavior towards Jonasson. Oh, my goodness. I'm laughing, but it's evil. Vin Diesel, to his credit, has not commented. Maybe he should keep it that way. A BLM martyr. CNN, the far-left females of the Skim report. People remembering Manuel Ellis. Yesterday, a jury acquitted 3 Washington state police officers of all charges in Manuel Ellis's death. A false BLM martyr, probably, I guess. Never heard of him. The 33-year-old black man died March 3rd, 2020 in Tacoma, nearly 3 months before George Florida's supposed murder. It wasn't a murder. After police beat, tasered, and put him in a chokehold. Sounds like he was being squirrely. Prosecutors argued that Ellis died from the officer's deadly use of force, and the medical examiner had ruled his death a homicide. Sounds like it was justifiable and accidental. Lawyers for the officers said their actions were justified and that Ellis died from drugs in his system and a pre-existing heart condition. Manuel Ellis's supposed family walked out of the courtroom when the verdict was read. Good. Stay out. Sorry. Border mess. President Joe Biden, according to CNN, is ramping up the pressure on Mexican President AMLO, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, funded by China, I heard, that far-left politician, to help with the migrant crisis, meaning illegal alien invasion, at the U.S. southern border. In a call between the two Thursday, the presidents agreed that additional enforcement actions are urgently needed to reopen ports on the U.S.-Mexico border where a migrant surge has strained federal resources and led to port closures. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby, joke of a guy, told reporters, over recent days, more than 10,000 illegals have invaded through the border, and Title 42's gone. Trump was blocking them because of the China virus. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
have to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. Merry Christmas. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. Jesse. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show, jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about and you're busy and can't sit and watch the show, you're working out, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever you're doing, you still can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. Follow us on JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, and cozy.tv/JLP. Like, follow, ring the bell, do all those good things. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, you can go to buymeacoffee.com, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, rebuildingtheman.com, or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App, all right? It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a great alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Santa, what's Christmas really about?
Vengeance!
As soon as I get back in the Oval Office, I'll also immediately end the war on Christians. They are going after Christians in America. Who can believe all this stuff?
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men.
Beautiful. Amazing. Thank you, Anchor Baby. Nick put that together. That's amazing. Amazing work. Amazing work. Let me go quickly back to Mays out of Ohio. I've had to put on pause there because we went to a top of the hour break. Mays, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't mind. But, Jesse, so when you come saying have white babies, I don't understand what you mean by that.
It's been reported that sometime soon that white people will be the minority in their own country, and that the people of color would be the majority. And I tremble at that idea because if the people of color become the majority, it's going to be over for America real fast. This whole country will become a ghetto because the people of color are not as innovative and motivated. They're not very creative as the whites are.
To you?
No, to America.
To you. So can I get back to when you was talking about the civil rights movement? The civil rights movement, when you say what happened when the civil rights movement happened. Yeah. What happened with the civil rights movement was that black people had their own thing. They left their gardens and went into the grocery store to feed somebody else. And they've been feeding them ever since. Once they come to the knowledge that they don't have to feed other people, maybe then somebody will wake up. And then you hear those screaming like, go back to Africa. They don't have nowhere to go. But to go back to Africa, why do they need to go back to Africa? They need to stop spending their money on people that they're giving them a right. They got a right, but you got to act. So until they change their act so you can have the same right, you can tell me something. You
are right in that prior to the civil rights movement, that black people were individual thinkers. They did for themselves, and they took,
still do.
And they took
Some of us are still there.
And they took care of themselves. And then once the civil rights movement came into play, they gave up their individuality and they put the so-called black leaders. They put the so-called black leaders before themselves and before God, and they became Democrats, and they've just been begging ever since.
No, when they was Republicans, so when they left that party, they took their jobs away, they took their land and everything else away from them. Y'all leave that part out. And that's when they went into the grocery store. They left at the gardens and went into the canned food to feed somebody else. So who are they feeding?
And once again,
who are the black people feeding with their money?
Once again, you're right, because prior to the civil rights movement, the blacks lived, they lived all over, I guess, but they lived in the South.
Lived everywhere. They did everything because they were the
South. In the South, they were taking care of themselves.
No, they were not.
And that's one of the things that Booker T. Washington, the man who was born enslaved, ended up founding one of the greatest, used to be educational schools in the country. He thought that blacks should not be leaving the South, but to stay there because they knew how to run the farm, they knew how to plant the farm, they knew how to grow food, and they were very independent. But they chose to follow that Martin Luther King guy and all the
Why did they leave the South,
black leaders.
This was before Martin Luther King ever came along. They left the South because they were ran out of the South. The black school teachers lost their jobs
to the North
because
they were convinced.
That's why they don't learn that.
They chose to move to the North because they were convinced by the black so-called leader that the North was better than the South, and they have not survived since.
And that's your story. Is it like I say, if we stop feeding people, it'll be just like Trump said. I'm going to repeat what he said. They use you to get what they want, and after they do, they don't have no use for you anymore. So that's what we're looking at when you're looking at what you're talking about.
You said when you stop doing what?
He said they use you to get what they want from you and then they don't need you anymore. So that's what we're looking at today. Because if we stop purchasing stuff and go back to the gardens and stuff, nobody won't eat. What?
You said when you stop. You said when the blacks stop doing what?
Being used.
Being what?
It's being used. You know what used is?
Oh, yeah, about it. You're right. When they stop being used by when they stop being used by the, when they stop being used by the black so-called civil rights leaders, when they stop being used by the Democratic Party, when they stop being used for destruction,
and the Republicans,
when they stop being used for the destruction, then they would get their act together. You're right about that.
They acted together. People just get out of their way so they can do what they need to do. Because before they were burned out in all them different places in the South, why did they do that? Why did they burn them people out of their business and their homes?
You said the blacks are together already?
Excuse me?
You said the blacks are together. You said
some of us are still here. And some people are still around. They can tell you the story, not the child.
Did you say the blacks are together already?
Excuse me? Some of them still there. Because the man that can make water out of air, what you think they're doing to him? Blocking him. He can't even do it. He's trying to help him. He's going to help the world with his invention. And furthermore, it was a black lady that made it. Hey, I'm just telling you. But you want to blame black people for everything.
Do you realize you're speaking over me?
Oh, no, I didn't realize. I thought you would let me get it off my chest.
But
I'm helping you with some history, and I hope I'm helping the people that tell people to go back to Africa.
Maze.
What?
Where would blacks be better off, in Africa or in America?
Right here in America.
Well, then why aren't they better off in America?
Because you want me to go down the list?
No, just give me one
Because they got to act out of right. As long as they got
You say what now?
Why do you have an act and you don't have the right to do everything you need?
What you say they got a what?
You got a Civil Rights Act. They got a right. When they give you that same right they got, then you can talk. What?
You said that the black got to act right?
No, I didn't say nothing about act right.
What you say?
got the Civil Rights Act, where they can go back and change it, or if they don't want to do anything. That means that you got somebody over you to try to tell you what to do with your life.
What does that have to do with blacks? The
And
black. What
it
does
has a whole lot
that
to
have
do with
with
what's wrong
the
with America.
black? What does that
They
have to do?
couldn't take Obama, they can't take Kamala, and they about to lose their bag.
Merry Christmas, Maze.
So you name the crime that they committed.
Maze,
when doing
Merry
their job.
Christmas.
You the piece of Merry who?
Merry Christmas. I got it right. Happy New Year.
Yeah, you have a good one.
All right, you too. Thank you, Maze. That was no conversation at all. Zero. There's a line open, though, 888-7753-773. Brendan, you're on the air. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Jesse.
Good
How you
morning,
doing today?
sir. All is well. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Oh, no man is good. Sorry, I'm doing well.
Nice.
I want to thank you so much, Jesse. We had a conversation 2 weeks ago about my near-death experience. Do you remember me?
I remember you.
Yes, and I want to thank you so much for pointing me back to the Father. You changed my life completely, and I want to answer the biblical question today.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
Today I understand now that we're not supposed to, but back then when I used to think that I cared about what people think or say about me, I remember being a child, I didn't really care about that stuff, but my father did a lot because of his own mother.
Yeah.
And he used to he taught me like to care about what people think about me or say about me. Like, he was really like superficial on that. Like, oh, you need to dress well because I don't want people to think that, or you need to do that because I don't want people to think that about you, or because I think his own mother traumatized him younger with that. And she's still doing that today.
Amazing.
Like, he's a grown man now.
Yeah.
And sometimes she goes to see my father. Oh, and I got to tell you, I forgive my grandmother, too, for doing that, for imposing her will on me, because she the same thing she did to my father, and she's still doing it to this day, she tried to do it to me, too. And when I forgave her for doing that to me, she went crazy, really. I swear, Jesse, she's like the master of craziness. Like, I thought my mother was something.
Yeah.
That woman, Jesse, she's like worse than my own mother. And I understand now what my dad had to go through. And I'm not kidding, okay? For like 2 weeks, every time she would see me, she would like say something like, oh, Brendan, do you want me to do that for you? Or is that imposing my will on you? I'm like, what?
What? No.
I swear she did that for like a month. And then I realized that after that, I saw a fake power in acting a certain way for people to like me because it gave me what I wanted from them. And then I realized that all I did was for selfish needs. And when I saw that it was working, I just kept on doing it and manipulating people to like me so I could get what I wanted from them.
That's amazing.
And now I realize that now that I don't want anything from anyone, now that I'm going back to the Father, Jesse,
yes,
I realize that I don't care, and I don't want anything from anyone. So now I don't like play that game no more because I don't see the need to. I just tell them the truth, and whether they like it or not, I don't care because I don't want anything from them. But that was a big revelation for me when I was doing the silent prayer. I saw that everything I did was only for myself, and then it changed.
That's amazing, man. That is deep.
I know.
That is,
wow.
Brendan, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. It can only and will only become clearer and better, man. It's just going to be amazing. And you're going to find yourself just living your life. It's just, and life will just be happening through you on its own, and it's going to be amazing. Stay with it, man. That's amazing.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? When you were like growing as well, you know, maybe younger, when you first realized that you were angry at your mother and your father, were you able to see, like, you know, you say, because you said something that is so true when you said we already know the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is already in us.
Yes. And
how was it for you to realize that, like, at your time, you know, when you started realizing, like how did the Father show you, like, what you needed to see, like, I don't know if you get my question.
When I had been going to different churches, and because I knew I had a lot of conflict on the inside, I knew I was emotional, I had fear, and so I had been going to different churches to ask the preacher or be a part of the service to try to get better, but nothing was changing. So I finally asked God to let me see myself, and that was the beginning of waking up, when I asked to let me see myself. And then I was surprised that the truth was already in me, and that I already knew the truth, and I just had forgotten the truth because I had been traumatized spiritually. I had hatred on my heart. And so I didn't realize until the anger of our heart was taken away from me that I already knew the truth. And so I just been, thank God, growing ever since then.
But why is it that people today don't trust the fact that the truth is already in them? Why do they make the Bible their God or anything?
Because they love their misery, and they live from the outside and not within, and they love living in that hell. So that's why you have to wish them well, but let them stay in their hell. Even God will let them stay in their misery until they are ready to overcome it, and if they're ready to overcome. So most people love misery, and they love trying to impose misery on others because it gives them a false sense. It gives them a thrill. It gives them a false sense of life.
Wow. So the best way is really to let them suffer.
Let them suffer, which is, well, okay, you can stay in your hell, and don't try to convince them. Don't impose on them. Don't be angry at them. Don't argue with them. Just let them live in their hell. That's what God does. He doesn't fight them on it at all. He let them stay there. Brandon, thank you, man, and Merry Christmas. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. And that was funny. That was funny what you said about your grandmother. That is amazing.
Yeah, right. And Jesse, before you go, I wanna sing. I don't know why, but I want to sing with you. I want to sing the GLP theme.
Well, I hope that come to pass. I'll talk to Hassan.
Sorry?
Are you saying you want to sing with us?
No, but I want to sing with you right now. Do you want to sing with me right now?
Not right now, but I will.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. That's a rendezvous.
Okay, sounds good, buddy.
Okay, Merry Christmas to everyone. And good job, Hake, with the Hake Report. He's doing a really great job at it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The real news, not the fake news.
Sweet.
That's right. Thank you, buddy.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. Amazing. Nick, can you get all the experts in? I have a question. In the meantime, Let's do Super Chat.
Super Chat.
While they're coming in.
Super Chats.
Prep Ham Paul, a Rumble supporter. I'm looking forward to seeing Fallen State today. I hope JLP asks his guest how much he paid for his 5 degrees, or did he get them free from the government?
He have degrees up to yang. What the?
Stan 69 with a diamond. Y'all got the true black Santa Claus right there. Laughing face emoji with tears coming out sideways.
He black.
Oh.
Thank you.
I had to show him.
He black.
In the split screen. Thank you, Stan 69.
Oh.
Glad to make you laugh. Eric bought 3 coffees on buymeacoffee.com. I say happy holidays because the word holiday literally means holy day. Did you catch that? You're listening as you're sweating that up, Jesse?
Yeah.
It is a word invented by English Christians to describe days like Easter, Good Friday, and Christmas because they are holy days.
What?
Holiday means holy day. So he does say happy holidays, and he doesn't mean it as secular.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
That's amazing.
Someone bought you a coffee. Jesse, you said that Joe couldn't name one black person that was making the country better.
Right.
Would you consider yourself to be someone who is making the country better?
No.
You said the black people make things worse than they are when they are in charge. Are you making Bond worse by being in charge of it?
Yeah, I made a mess of it. Nah, I'm playing.
Charles bought 2 coffees.
But thank you.
The blacks have minds like children, and they treat whites like their parents. They follow whites around, crave their attention, cry about things whites have and won't give them, throw tantrums for being punished for wrongdoing, and they rebel against whites.
Amazing.
Charles.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Siona would Sion coffee.
That's a good point.
I don't care anymore because of Jesse Peterson helping me overcome, but I used to care about people's opinions about me. Oh, this guess is a biblical question response.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us? Why?
I feel ashamed. I want people to look at me a certain way. Thanks to my beau, I'm over it, and I don't give a bleep, says Siona with Sion. Spoken like a lady.
So why did she say why we're supposed?
She says she doesn't care anymore because you helped her overcome.
Okay.
She used to care. She feels ashamed that she wants people to look at her a certain way. Thanks to her, she's over it and doesn't give a bleep. But she doesn't say why she did or why she should or where she used to.
Why she's supposed to.
She just did, but now you helped her.
Amazing. And I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate it very much.
Someone bought a coffee. Every time someone calls into the show with the thoughts give me an image of what they might look like. Yeah. For instance, when Joe from Arizona calls, an image of RuPaul comes to mind. When Maze with a Daze calls, I picture one of those old school looking black ladies with jerry curls in their hair. It's crazy what the thoughts make you think. I appreciate all of you and Merry Christmas.
You too, and all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I saw Rick from Hampton once, and he looked nothing like I pictured.
It is. What the? Hey,
healthy.
Rick.
Anna bought 3 coffees. Hi, Jesse. I love your shows, and thanks for all you do to help people. To answer the biblical question.
Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
Remembering back when boys were boys and men were men, we had a sense of moral accountability. Some callers alluded to this yesterday. Caring what people thought kept us getting married, kept us physically fit, kept the crazed radicals at bay. Now the mentality of let your freak flag fly promotes obesity as beautiful, children out of wedlock, and other dysfunctional behavior as the rule, not the exception. If you don't care what God thinks, the last line of defense is at least to care what people think, says Anna.
Amazing.
Or Anna.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you care what God thinks?
Yeah. I gave this sly smile like you know I'm lying. I'm a little angel on the good list.
That's amazing.
On the nice list.
I'm looking at Nick reading your computer. Remind me of Joey.
I know. They can't help it. It just draws their eyes.
You're not supposed to look at other people's cell phones and
it's hard not to.
And all that.
Someone bought a coffee. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, by the way.
Uncle JLP, Hake, Hassan, Nick, Joel, and the way over yonder, Sean. Answer to the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
We shouldn't care about anything on the outside of us, but rather on the inside, so we shouldn't care. Also, please, a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Love you all. XO, that's kiss hug. She black.
She black. Thank you. And I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Lily Poo, nice donation on Rumble Rant. Christ is the reason for the season. Merry Christmas, JLP, experts and chatters. Stay well, you all.
I agree. And you too, Merry Christmas. I had a black caller yesterday from Texas, I think. Jesse, why is Christmas something, Jesus, something like that? I'm like, Jesus is the reason for the season. And he's like, no, why? That is the reason for Christmas, folks. Thank you so much.
Also on Buy Me a Coffee, JV the Great bought 3 for the biblical question.
Why are we supposed to care what people say or think about us?
You should not care what others think. If our own thoughts are lies and evil, why should we care about someone else's made-up thoughts about us? As long as we're living a morally good life, who cares what someone else feels? Now knowing what you've been expressing to us, all thoughts are all lies all the time. Another person's thoughts are only a made-up lie telling them how they should view you. A false identity creating another false identity for you.
All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. Thank you.
Greg Smith 65, nice donation on Rumble Rant.
Thank you.
Look up Caucasian people and Fibonacci golden ratio. Then people will understand why black women are so angry and why a white slave was worth 2 black slaves in the Arab world. White privilege.
Amazing. Thank you.
Coffee Talk with Sandra gave a diamond. Merriest of Christmases. Grateful for you all.
Back at you. Thank you.
Chalice on Cash App gave a couple of thanks. Jalen as well did too. So did Jose. Adler says Merry Christmas
Merry
with a
Christmas.
Christmas tree emoji. Anthony and Tracy donated. Tracy saying, Bond, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your support, Tracy, and all of you.
And Brother Sonny says, no, dude, my God, Hake, look at Psalm 22. Jesus was talking about Psalm 22 on the cross there. To let the Pharisees know after 1,000 years what the psalm was talking about. It's amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
That's the my God, why have you forsaken me? It's a reference to...
And what is he saying about that?
David in the Psalms. Psalm 22, verse 1 says, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring? O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and then in the night season, and am not silent. But thou art holy, O thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel. And it continues on and on.
Oh, thank you. Amazing. Merry Christmas.
But that's exactly what you said.
I know.
He was separated from the Father.
He was separated from... He had the same pain that every human being has when they are separated from the Father. Really. It's the same thing. And he died and returned to the Father. The ego died. And the same thing we have to go through in order to return to the Father. Thank you.
It also says, all they that see me laugh at me to scorn. They shoot at the lips. They shake their head, saying he trusted on the Lord that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing that he delighted in him. And so it is interesting. Nice context. Thank you, Brother Sonny.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe, let me just double check, because I always do this, that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. When I come, is that a break song?
I think
I gotta
so.
take a quick break.
Sure,
When I
just-
come back, it's Christmas, so we're gonna be taking as many calls as possible, and your super chats, and my experts, and the treasure chest is now open on D Live. Back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone, and you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. Okay, welcome back. Quick announcement. Number one, the Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour, right after my show, from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. The 9 to 11. The guy with the good hair, he white, and he ain't afraid of nobody. He ain't afraid of no ghosts. At 9, from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 noon, brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. Very interesting discussion with Dr. William James. He is the author of Black Supremacy. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
How many degrees do you have?
5.
Wow, educated up to yang.
Education is the true answer to liberation. Do you love Joe Biden?
Yes.
Do you love Adolf Hitler?
Yes.
Really?
Do you love white people? You have a book called Black Supremacy.
Most blacks do what?
Destroy.
Prove that.
Who killed other blacks the most?
Blacks.
Who turned nice neighborhoods into hoods? I'm giving you a hint.
I want money for what my ancestors went through.
And what did you do to earn that money?
I was born.
And you got so many degrees. Amazing. That's at 12 noon. And you can support the Fallen State right there on, thefallenstate.tv/donate or locals.com. So click the link in the description to support our work. And then at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby flying high. Not off fentanyl, not off pot. I smelled pot at the gym the other day. Some guy walked by, he was like loaded, like he had just smoked a joint before he walked out of the car. Got out the car. It wasn't Nick though. But he's at 4 p.m. Pacific time. The Anchor Baby, giving back to America. And then check out Joel Friday TV.
Can I just jump in real quick?
Yes.
Just hit that notification bell for my channel, because I might go live a little bit earlier too, but definitely
nice. By the way, it's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas time in the city.
Thank you.
Ding-a-ling, it's Christmas time in the city. Podcast, Joel Friday TV. You black every Tuesday. So you can podcast if you didn't catch him last Tuesday. All right? And the American Anchor Baby is at 4 p.m. Pacific time. He may go earlier today, so make sure you check out the notification. Rick and James moved left a bit. Who is Rick and James?
Nick.
Oh, Nick. Oh, good, he says. And don't forget to enter your donation. Donate to my nonprofit, Bond. For 30-something years, we've been rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. So give back so we can can continue to help others, and it's a tax write-off, so you're going to get it back, I guess. And thank you all in advance for your support. My experts are here before I go back to the callers. Nick, the Anchor Baby, and that opening that we had with the Get Off Your Chest Day, it was done by him. It was amazing. Thank you. And the host of the American Anchor Baby. And next to him is Hake of the HakeReport.com.
That's right.
Monday through Friday. And over at my far right, your left, her son, who let the dogs out.
Far right is right.
An expert here. Expert here at the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And he took his dog. You're not going to believe it. Sit down for this one. If you're standing, sit down. You may want to lay flat down so you don't fall out the chair. He took his dog to see Christmas lights.
Nice. I thought you were going to say he took his dog to dog people already.
That's coming up soon. Don't remind him.
What?
What? He took his dog to see Christmas lights.
Did he like them?
He's loved it. He's begging for a round two, so, you know.
And then next to him is Joel Friday TV. He black and 30% white. How you know you're 30% white?
I did the calculations, and I did my research, and I looked at my DNA.
But you don't know how to. You did calculation. You don't know how to add.
Right. It just took me a little while, but I finally got to it.
You're Hassan.
According to my calculations.
You and Hassan went to the same school.
That's probably true.
I'm 30% black.
How
There you go.
Maybe I'm the other 30.
He's a sand. And
You're 30% black.
He said he's
Joel's
30% black.
30% ended up in Hassan.
Bring it to the mic.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Why are you standing?
You can sit down and chill.
Oh, you want to stand?
Kind of.
Your back hurt?
Yeah.
It does?
It really does, yeah.
You've been hanging out hate too much.
And my stomach hurts, which is probably too much information, but I was eating a bunch of those sweet potato cookies last night.
That's that rabies. What you're saying is so dumb, my stomach hurt. That's the rabies. But let me ask real fast so I can get back to the calls. You remember when Jesus was born, he was born in a manger?
Oh, I remember that.
And there were 3 angels that went to visit him. What were the gifts they brought?
Don't tell me. Frankincense and myrrh and gold.
Amazing.
Yeah, let's go.
Nice.
Wow.
He said it. He said it out of order.
I did.
It's gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Why did that in order?
I didn't know there was an order.
The fact that he even got it.
I know.
It's mind blowing.
Why are you so surprised? I'm a Christian.
James.
I'm joking. I'm not joking.
I had forgotten about that. I was watching Jesse Waters' show last night, and they do this man on the street thing, and that guy was asked, and they asked someone, and nobody, except for one person, can say what it was. Hassan, where was Jesus born?
He was born in Bethlehem.
Where?
Bethlehem?
Where?
Bethlehem.
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 Oh. Is that true, Joel?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Is that true, Jay?
Yes.
How many brothers and sisters did Jesus have?
He had brothers and sisters?
I know at least, I'm going to say at least 2 brothers.
James.
What? He had 2 brothers?
Yeah.
What was their name, Joel?
James.
Wow.
Joseph.
No, you telling him?
He's asking.
Autistic. He's autistic. Put him on ADHD.
He got
medication.
Put me in, coach.
What was their name, Joel?
Juju and JoJo.
What?
He had the first letters right.
Oh, I don't. Oh, maybe James and Joseph or Jacob or Johnny or Johnny.
Johnny. Johnny in the
Biblical
Bible.
name.
One last question, then I gotta go. What was the second city Jesus visited once he left home?
I would only be guessing, and I can't even think of a name.
What was the second city he visited once he left home?
The city of David.
What was the second?
I guessed.
Gaza. It was in Egypt. What's the city in Egypt?
Sinai.
Palestine.
The city of Sinai.
What was the second city he visited, Hassan?
Did you first? I'm thinking.
Okay. Hassan is thinking.
Nazareth.
Oh. That's got to be it.
That's it.
He's looking it up on Google.
No,
he's not.
I'm just taking
not.
notes on the show. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do you say, Hassan?
I think that's it.
Why?
Well, wait, maybe he was born in Nazareth.
Oh, crud.
Bethlehem. I don't know.
You think he was born in Nazareth?
Well, I don't know. Jesus of Nazareth.
Jesus of Nazareth?
He's not Jesus of Bethlehem.
I know.
But maybe he went to Bethlehem.
He moved, yeah. So he was born in Bethlehem, like
They're
Nick
gonna
was
kill all the
born in
boys.
Canada, and then he moved to Nazareth
So he's an
and were
anchor baby.
raised in Nazareth.
One last,
So he's an anchor baby.
one last quick question. What color was Jesus, Joel?
Oh, magenta. No, olive. I don't know what color he was. I don't know.
What color was Jesus, Hassan?
I mean, I want to say no color, but he was. Yeah, I mean, for the sake of being, yeah, he's like a nice little Mediterranean olive.
What color was Jesus?
For most people, he's the color of your race, whatever race you are. But every race, and I don't really see whites claiming this too much, but every race claims Jesus is their color.
Because white people already know that he was white.
I already know that Jesus is white as snow.
What color was Jesus?
Inside.
He was the spotless white Lamb of God.
And the very last question about him. Did he have good hair or bad hair?
He had great hair.
Gray?
Great.
Great hair?
Yeah.
Was it good or bad?
It was good.
Good hair or bad hair?
Eyes
But
white
it wasn't
as...
remarkable.
What?
It was not remarkable,
I don't
though.
think anyone had great hair back then.
Yeah, great hair is a modern luxury.
There was nothing remarkable about him.
Definitely had
There was nothing remarkable about him?
About his appearance.
Oh, it wasn't?
That's what I heard in the Bible. It's a fact.
Oh, yeah?
Something like that.
Yes, I heard something like
I know
that, yeah.
he's white as snow, but
Good hair.
I know he's white as snow, but he might have had some of those hair nappies like around here, like around the edges.
Yeah.
Like the
You know
curls?
what I'm talking about?
Did he have the curls coming down?
Yeah.
The Jewish curls?
Like just that nappy hair, like just around the edges that people over there have.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Arab
Good hair or bad hair?
I think his stuff was
Yeah.
tough because there was no brushes or gel or none of that stuff back in the day, no barber, so he definitely had some dreads.
Did they have stay soft fro?
They had no stay soft fro.
Oh, what a mess.
So he had dreads for sure.
Good hair or bad hair? Hassan.
Mess. Oh.
Yeah, I think, I mean, because somewhere it says hair of wool, so I think it was probably a little coarse, like, yeah. And I don't think they were showering much, so.
I have a Jewish friend who has hair of wool. He has like a fro, but if you touch it, it doesn't feel like nappy.
Yeah.
It's soft and everything.
The less you wash your hair, the more oily it is, so it's actually not as dry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joel, what do you want to say to our friends, our audience, our supporters, and everybody at Christmas time? Last word.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you for all the support, even on my show. I appreciate it. It's been amazing.
What do you want to say, Hassan, to the fans, supporters, and those who've helped and not been helped, and everything?
Yeah, just Merry Christmas to the whole, JLP family and the Bond family, and yeah, just Jesus Christ.
What do you want to say, Hake, to
Well,
everyone?
Thank you for coming to this auditorium. Because it sounds like an auditorium right now. Sorry about the shot. And catch the last Hake Report official show today.
Amazing.
But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting Bond. I support Bond too. Sweet.
Nice. What do you want to say, Anchor Baby?
Thank you so much. Just want to be thankful. I just want to be thankful, grateful, because I'm here sitting doing a show, and you guys support me. And I'm watching myself. We're all watching ourselves, and I learned a lot this year. There's so much more to do. I think I'm gonna have to leave. You said we had a mission, not a mission, but what we're trying to do this year is drop our identity so that the true one comes.
Yes.
I'll let you. I might have to, and I might need an extension, but I'm serious about it.
Right on.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you all. My experts, folks. Thank you all so much.
Oh, I forgot I'm on the board now. It's coming, y'all.
Amazing. My experts. Let me go quickly to Michelle, a first-time call out of Detroit. Michelle, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Why, thank you. Hey, I just want to make a little note real fast that the caller, Brendan, what a wise and eloquent young man is.
I know. That's amazing.
Yeah. I've been listening to it for about an hour and a half, and it just really, really touched my heart hearing how open he is to growing and learning, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm calling about I'm a 61-year-old unapologetically white woman.
Nice.
And I want to talk about my lived experience and not obviously my thoughts because they're all lies. But I was incarcerated for 21 years from 1988 to 2009. And, so from the ages of 25, almost 26, all the way up until 47. So just from my lived experience, I look at all this division in our country, and I realize it's all, globalist, totalitarianism, by design. It's been going on for decades, hundreds, probably over 100 years. And when I was incarcerated, I would say the demographics in there were probably, maybe 85% brown-skinned people. I was a minority.
Does that mean black folks?
Yeah, black. Yeah, mostly black and Hispanic.
Wow.
And so I'm from Detroit, by the way.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I look at the prison as a microcosm of our country as a macrocosm. So in prison, when they were trying to divide us, with infringing on what little rights we still had as prisoners and things like that, we rose up as prisoners against tyranny. It didn't matter what color we were. We lived together. We had to survive together. Yeah. We went through a lot of hard times, and all we had was each other. And that feeling was comforting. And here, out here in the greater America, this division, it's like people just need to know we are all Americans. Just like in prison, we were like, we're all prisoners, and we're going to unite and rise against this. That's what we need to do here. I mean, the division is it's cringeworthy. I mean...
Yeah, it's bad, and it's getting worse. And that's why I've been trying to encourage white Americans to start speaking up, to get involved, to take back their government before they lose their country.
Jesse, I'm trying. I've never called into any radio show in my life before. This is the first time because I saw you on Alex Jones probably, 6 months ago or so.
Yes.
And I've caught you on that platform, the InfoWars platform, probably about 4 times now, and I always love the things that you say. And so today I was just scrolling through X, formerly Twitter, and I saw you were live, and I clicked it, and here I am. So,
well, that's amazing, Michelle. Because of time, call me again. I love hearing from you. Thank you.
I have one more question, though. One more question.
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Okay, well, I'm kind of cute still. I was preserved for a long time,
Well, let's get it on.
Yeah, and I'm single and looking for a wonderful partner.
Well, let's start the year out right. Let's get it on.
Yeah, so have your staff take my number down and give me a holler.
I will. Amazing.
Okay, Jesse.
All right.
Okay, Jesse. Okay, God bless you.
You
Merry
too.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Kevin, a first-time caller out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Kevin, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it going?
All is well.
Ooh, I just wanted to call because I sat in my car for like 30 minutes and listened to church the other day.
Are you on a speaker or something?
Oh, no. I'm on my... Do I need to be?
No. You're going out. Stay with your phone. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I do. Loud and clear.
Okay. Well, you said something about fear and trembling and come as you are, and the fear inside of you pitching a hissy fit. And I went to therapy. I've watched all these videos and all kinds of crap that just trying to figure out why I freak out like that. And when you said that, I was like, man, that makes the most sense I've ever heard.
To go to God with your fears and stuff like that. Do nothing about it. Just let it be, and He will take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, live in it. And so, are you doing that now?
Yeah, I didn't understand what you meant by watching your thoughts. I was like, how do I get in my head, stand back and watch thoughts, but just to understand what they are and, why you're having them really broke through to me.
Right on, man. Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I have not done that.
Do that, man. You're on your way. Do that so that God can bring you out of your thoughts, which are not your own, out of your feelings, which are not your own, out of your imagination, and He will destroy the thought, because the thoughts are evil and they are of their father, the devil. They're not yours, and he'll get rid of the devil. Will have to depart from your thoughts, and he'll go and make a home in other people. So do the silent prayer. Are you familiar with it? You heard about it?
I watched the video one time, and that's when I was like, how do I watch my thoughts? And until I watched church,
come back to your phone.
It didn't make sense.
Come back to your phone.
Okay.
You said what now?
I said I watched the silent prayer one time, and I was like, how do I watch my thoughts? And then when I watched church the other day, it finally clicked. I got it.
Nice. Well, do the silent prayer now that you got it. And I'm telling you, you will become one and not divided. You will have you will develop He will clear your mind. You will have peace on earth. It will be amazing.
Yes, sir. I started watching you because I thought you were hilarious. And then, you just make so much sense. It's crazy.
Well, stay with it, man. I appreciate that. And stay with it. And call me again because of time here. Call me again, all right?
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Amazing. Super chat.
Super chat.
Super chats.
Someone bought you 3 coffees saying continue to do the good work.
Thank you. Thank you for your support, too.
Declined. Nice play on words. Bought 3 coffees. Judge Joe Brown said that Kamala isn't even black. Her dad is Indian from India.
Right. I heard that before.
Or her mother, because I think her dad's Jamaican, I think.
Yeah, one of them are Indian.
Yeah.
One of her parents, according to reports.
Yeah, he was mad because she said, pot. She said that thing about pot. Mm-hmm. And he's like, she's giving Jamaicans a bad name. We're not all about pot.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Amazing. Thank you.
We need more mixed babies? Asks Urinal Chills in response to that last comment.
Pure white babies.
Pure white babies.
White. Majority white, so we can save America. Thank you. We need white babies.
Shout out to the top contributors on D-Live, WD41, Evgeny Crosby, Misty, Games for Rec, Kid Combo 1.0, and Coffee Talk with Sandra. Thanks for the support.
Thank you
all
all.
the D-Livers.
Absolutely.
And that's all for now.
Thank you very much. Let me just say real fast to the women that was at the meeting last night, the women's forum last night. The ladies, stay with it. Stay with it, ladies. Last night, the last meeting of this month and this year was amazing. What an amazing way to end the year with the women's forum. And we'll start up again, if the Lord is willing, in January. Church on Sunday, you're all invited at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, rebuildingtheman.com/church. And from all of us at Bond, JLP radio show, the network, all the shows, the Men's Forum, Lady Forum, the Entrepreneur Program. Thank you all for your help this year, your prayers, your help. It's been amazing. We got a lot of more work to do. Thank you for your support. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Even from Hassan Dahl. He is grateful too. Amazing. So thank you all. Merry Christmas. The Hake Report is coming up now. Happy New Year. And if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, we'll speak again in 2024. Merry Christmas. And to the callers, I'm out of time. Keith from Illinois, Greg from New York, the young lady that just dropped. I forgot her name. And all the calls that are coming in. I am out of time. Check out the Anchor Baby show at 4 today. Maybe a little early, but 4 for sure. And the Fallen State at 12, thefallenstate.tv, all right? Merry Christmas. Podcast Joel Friday TV. Take care, folks, and Happy New Year, and thank you all for everything. Merry Christmas. Amazing! Amazing.
He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never want to stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand in the loop. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself, or how much you have or don't have, or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing.